Hello guys, welcome to another video of TCSBaba. In the last video I have discussed about the strength and weakness of Indian economy. In this video I will be discussing about the other features and other trends which the economists and the planners depend on in deciding where to spend the money on, how to plan the budget of the country. So all these things will be discussed in this video, so stay tuned till the end to understand the basic other features of the Indian economy. So this video will be the second and last part of the basic features of the Indian economy. The next part will be going into the other part of the syllabus, that is the national income. So stay tuned for the upcoming videos also. And if you like this video, please give a like and thumbs up, and please share with your friends and colleagues, and subscribe to this channel to get more such videos. In the last video I have discussed about the strength and weakness of Indian economy. That was the first part of these basic features. So in this video I will be finishing the basic features completely. Mind that this whatever I am discussing here is just a glimpse of what's there in the syllabus. You have to go back to your reference books and then study the rest of the thing, and also to gain more knowledge. So in this part I will be discussing about the demographic trends in India, the natural resources, economic infrastructure, and the social infrastructure. Now, demographic trend. Already I have asked this question in the previous video, what is demography? So demography is the scientific study of the characteristic of the population of a country. Now the question is, who does this study? Who calculates or who finds out the population of the country in India? This is NSSO, National Sample Survey Office. Now, demographic trends, some of the basic trends that the economists use to measure are the size of population, the growth rate, birth death rate, density, sex ratio, life expectancy at birth, literacy ratio, etc. We'll go deeper into each of the points. So first, the size of the population and the growth rate. In terms of size of population and growth rate, as we know, India is huge country in terms of area and also population. In terms of population, it comes only second to China, and it's predicted that India will cross China and be the #1 populous country in the world. Okay, 2.4% of the geographical area of the whole world is under India, but it contributes less than 1.2% of the world income. This is different from the GDP. In terms of GDP, India is way above and is in the top 10 countries of the world, but more than 17.5% of the world population is living in India. 2.4% of geographical area, 17.5% of world population. So here only you can see what's the major problem is in terms of planning for any sort of schemes or budget or anything. This 17.5% world population is one of the major factor. In 1901 it was 23.84 crore, and see, as per 2011 census, 121 crores. 2021 census has not yet even started in field due to COVID. There are some important years. 1921, what happened in 1921? In 1921 you can see the growth rate is negative 0.03%. Okay, 1911 to 1921 population decreased from 25.21 to 25.13. There was no increase in population. Q, the reason is cholera, plague, influenza, and also famines that happened during this period, 1911 to 1921. This year 1920 is also considered or told as the year of Great Divide. Isliye, because after 1921 population again started increasing. Okay? So 1921 can be considered as a boundary point or a intersection point after which the population started increasing. So it's called a year of Great Divide. 1951 में क्या हुआ भाई? 1951 population you see minus negative 0.03, 1.04%, 1.33%, and then again there is a dip 1.25%, and again population started increasing to 1.96%. So 1951 the growth rate came down and it is called the year of small divide. This is year of Great Divide. This is year of small divide, 2151. Okay. What happened after 1951? Since population reduced, so in 1961 population increased 1.96%, which was nearing 2%. So 1961 the growth rate was nearing 2%, hence this is called the year of population explosion. Population exploded. What happened in 2001? 2001 India crossed 1 billion mark, 100 crores 2001 May. Then also the population rate was 1 point. Although the population rate, the growth rate came down, but still in 2001 India crossed 1 crore mark, 1 billion mark, 100 crores. 2011, in 2011 census, we saw the growth of youth population, the demographic dividend, as I have already discussed in the strength part of Indian economy. The demographic transition could be seen in 2011 census. Now coming to the next, birth and death rate. Birth and death rate, we see that from 1951 to 2011, from 39.9% birth rate, it reduced to 21.8%. You should always relate the birth rate with also the growth rate. 1951 1.25% was the 1.25% was the annual growth rate, and 2011 it is 1.66%. Okay. Now 1951 39.9% and 21.8% it reduced, but the death rate also reduced from 27.4 to 7.11%. What's basically birth and death rate? It's the number of births or number of deaths per thousand of population. This impacts totally the total population and the growth rate of the country. Although the birth rate reduced, government imposed many sort of regulation restrictions to, and also awareness generation to control the birth rate. But at the same time, with advancement of medical science and the betterment of lifestyle of the people of India, the death rate also came down. The reduction in death rate is much higher than the reduction in growth rate. Hence, the overall growth rate of the population has not yet come down. Next is the density of population. Why density of population is important? The density of population is important to know where to focus the resources more. The density of population from 1951 to 2011 has increased from 117 to 382 person per square kilometer. Density of population is basically the total population divided by total area of the region. Although this is just a crude of density of the whole country, but if you see the density of population in any metro cities, it's much higher. So based on the density of the population, the government can think where to give more hospitals, where to give more other municipal facilities, water connection, etc. So density is a very important factor where government want to focus their resources. Okay. Or else what happens is, if you randomly bring up infrastructure in one place and the density of population is not there in that area, then that facility just goes into waste. Sex ratio, number of females per thousand males. This is a very important ratio to measure the extent of prevailing equity among males and females at a given point of time. This is a very interesting trend here. In 1951, the sex ratio, number of females per thousand males, was 946. It came down in 2001 to 933. What happened? 1951 is just after independence. From 1947 to 1951 it reduced to 933. क्या हो गया इंडिया में? 933 हो गया. And after that, with various intervention of the government, in 2011 it increased to 940. Still less than what was there in 1951. So this makes up for a very good question in the mains also. Post independence, the sex ratio was 946, and in 2011 census the sex ratio came down to 940. So what happened? Did the government intervention didn't work? Or so if 2001 data is not given, you can just say it reduced. But only when you look at 2001 data, you can see it reduced in 2001, and after post 2001 it started increasing. So what are the reasons for the reduction? What are the intervention or measures taken by the government? Those things can make a very good mains question. Why don't you write your views in the comment section below? Life expectancy at birth is nothing but the mean expectation in terms of number of years of life at birth. जन्म के बाद कितने साल तुम जिंदा रहोगे? In 1951, you can see the life expectancy of a citizen of India is 32.1 years only. So if you are born within 32 years, you are expected to die. This increased to 63.5 years. It's similar for male and female, and there is not much difference. The females outlive men's nowadays on an average by 2 years. It has doubled over 60 years. 2011 census that the demographic dividend, the young population number is one of the highest in the world. With the increase of life expectancy, the old age population is also increasing. The increase in old age population, what are the characteristics connected with old age population? They are mainly non-working population, living. If they were working earlier, then they are living on pension. Old age population is in other way a burden on the government. Similarly, people below the working age, let's say below 18 years, 0 to 18 years, is also a burden on the government, where government has to provide all the resources. From 18 to 60 or 65 years is the working age population, which for which government doesn't have to spend much, and they earn their own living. If we consider countries like Japan, like Korea, there the old age population is much more than the young generation. There the non-working population is more, so the pressure on the government is much more. Similar trend can be seen maybe in 2021 census when it comes out. When is the life expectancy at birth is low? In 1951, there are various regions, famines, cholera, etc. So many things happened. Medical science was not that advanced, so it was low. And the reason for increase, as I already told you, the advancement in medical science. As per 2011 census, what is the literacy ratio? Any person aged 7 and above having ability to read and write is called a literate. 2011. Why don't you guys check out what is the definition of literacy ratio as per 2021 census? The definition has already been finalized. You can go check out what's the definition of a literate person in 2021 census. The literacy ratio has increased a lot. From 1951 it was 18.3%. In 2011 it is 74.04%. Total number of literate in the age group by total population of the age group. Now see, why are these ratios important? Literacy ratio, you can see 74.5%, but if you go a little deeper, male is 82.1% and female is 65.5%. So as you see, there are many government policies like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. What is Beti Bachao? Beti Bachao क्यों आ रहा है? You can see in sex ratio it is 940. तो क्या होता है? बेटी बचाओ. The girl population is less, female population is less, so beti bachao. Now coming to the literacy ratio, the female literacy rate is still very low, 65.5%, so beti padhao. So all the schemes, all the intervention of the government, it's data driven, and census data is one of the crude, basic, important data on which so many policies of the government are framed on. Based on all these pointers, why don't you go check out in the internet also and find out what's the current population of the world, population of India, and the percentage with the respect of the world, the current birth rate and death rate, population density, highest density state, highest density city, current sex ratio of Tripura, highest literacy rate state, and highest literacy rate district of Tripura. Write their answers in the comment section below. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now coming to the natural resources, the main important parts of the basic features of Indian economy is already discussed in the previous video, and also up till this part the basic features have already been discussed. These are some additional pointers in the basic features part. I will not go much deep into this. You have to go and read the NCERT books and the other reference books, Tamil Nadu government books for this. Okay. So natural resources are basically two types: renewable, non-renewable. I think everyone knows the answer for what are these things. Mainly three types: land resource, forest resource, and mineral resources. Coming to the land resources, 2.42% of the total area of the world is Indian geographical area. It is the seventh largest country in the world. But the thing is, since the population is large, so the land man ratio is not favorable. The land is less for in terms of the number of people using the land, because the large holdings of agriculture are decreasing. It's an issue in Indian agriculture, and the new technologies which are implemented do not give the desired output. Okay, the marginal holdings are increasing day by day. The fragmentation of land is happening, which is not economic. So we can see the land resources are there, but there are some issues in that. Forest resources, the total forest and tree cover is 24.56% of geographical area. See, from 1947 or 1951 till 2011, find out what's the increase or decrease in total forest and tree cover. The dense forest is 3.02% dense forest. Largest forest cover in terms of the total area of forest is Madhya Pradesh, then Arunachal Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Maharashtra. Similarly, find out which are the states with the largest forest cover in terms of percentage of their geographical area. Now coming to the mineral resources, India is rich in various mineral resources. In terms of iron is found in Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha. Coal lignite, India is the third after China and USA in coal production. In terms of aluminium, bauxite, Odisha and Andhra Pradesh is where it is found. Mica, India is the first India is first in sheet mica production. Crude oil is found in Assam and Gujarat. However, in terms of crude oil, India is one of the best in terms of refineries, not in production, but in terms of refinery, India is one of the best. Gold, there are major three gold mines: Kolar Goldfield, Utti Goldfield, Ramgiri Goldfield. Tell me in the comment section, where are these situated, in which state? In terms of diamond, Panna, Ramallah Kota, and basin of Krishna River is where diamond is found. Next, coming to infrastructure. Infrastructure क्या होता है? What is infrastructure? Infrastructure can mainly be divided into two classes. One is economic infrastructure, another is social infrastructure. What is economic infrastructure? Economic infrastructure is a support system which helps in facilitating production and distribution of the economy. Okay, these are basically the support system: railway, track, telegraph, ports, canals, power plants, banks, etc. So these, you can see, they support in the production and distribution. Now coming to the social infrastructure. Social infrastructure क्या होता है? They improve the quality of manpower. Only economic infrastructure cannot work. The social infrastructure is what makes the economic infrastructure run properly. If you have good manpower, quality manpower, then only your economic infrastructure will function. Schools, colleges, hospitals are example of social infrastructure. So I would say कि this is where this whole basic features of Indian economy ends. Although this is just a brief overview, you have to go back to your reference books and other books to finish the basic features of Indian economy. In the next video, I'll be discussing about the national income and the methods of measuring national income. So do stay tuned, give a like video, and also subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on the next videos. Chalo, bye.